Hi, I'm Patrick Granger with the Granger Company.
And I'm Mark Granger with the Granger Company.
And we're bringing another property spotlight today.
And this property spotlight is brought to you by Pacific West Mortgage Fund, premier private money lender in the Southern California marketplace. Patrick, we have an exciting piece of property to talk about today. Very unusual in the city of Gardena. 1628 West 145th Street. That's 145th Street and Western. Unusual property, but really an interesting property with a lot of different ways to go on it. Why don't you tell us about some of the features on it?
Yeah, like you said, it's not very typical. It has two single-family homes. Both are 1,000 square feet. Those single-family homes share a 500 square foot garage. In the back of the property, you have a 2,400 square foot warehouse, and then you have an additional office and garage.
So that's a lot to go through here. So we got two SFRs. Each one is 1,000 square feet. We got a 500 square foot garage between the two.
That they share, yes.
Yeah, that they share. And then we've got a 2,468 square foot warehouse building. And then we've also got an office garage kind of combination.
Yeah.
So for a total of 5 structures on this property. And the land is how much square footage?
The land, we're sitting at 18,000 square feet, roughly 18,000 square feet out there.
My understanding is zoned R3 in Gardena.
Right.
So I think that gives us the potential for 7 units if we wanted to tear down the warehouse and the office garage combination.
So 7 dwellings is actually
the
verbiage the city uses.
Okay, so we're talking some options, right? So you want to take the warehouse down, take the office and garage down. You could build an additional 5 units along with the existing SFRs, right? You could keep those and build 5 more units, either condos or apartments. Or you could come in and utilize the warehouse, which I understand is what? Legal non-conforming. Is that the term they're using? And the warehouse office garage combination, I'm thinking, and maybe you would agree with me on this, but I'm thinking what you do is you'd have a contract. If you didn't come in and build it, a new product, if you just worked with what was there, you would have your contracting operation would use the office garage for small equipment storage, tools or whatever. The warehouse would be for storage of larger equipment.
Yeah.
Something, generators, whatever, larger things. And then you have the 2 SFRs, which you could either keep as for rental income. How much are those renting for now?
They're $1,600
a piece.
Yeah.
So you have $3,200 a month coming in on income on the 2 homes. And then what you could do is you could either keep those tenants, or you could possibly move into those homes, like your 2 project managers, somebody that has to be on site 24 hours a day type of a thing. So I think you could go a lot of different ways on this.
No, I mean you're totally right. There's I think several different directions you can go on this. One thought that I had when we were initially looking at this property is, I think there's even some options for potentially doing an assemblage in the future. Mm-hmm. If that's something that you're interested in doing, you have the R3 zoning there. We've already talked about it, but it's pretty good density, and especially if you can get a couple of these adjacent lots.
So when you say assembly, you're talking about combining this with something next door. Is that what you're thinking?
Right. Mm-hmm. If you look in the area, there's a lot of properties around there that are vacant, or I would say at the very least not living up to their best use,
or maybe not as much density as they would support under the current zoning.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I think there's a lot of different directions you could go in this. I think if you wanted to just come in and you're a contractor and say, hey, we already got this pretty good property, it's set up, you got a little bit of rental income on the side, you have this nice warehouse and these offices, it's already basically set up for that. If you wanted to come in and say develop the place, there's a bright future for that. So.
Good. So another thing I wanted to mention to you, Patrick, and you may or may not be aware of this, the owner has just come to us and said they're willing to carry financing on this property. So if you have a buyer out there that doesn't want to deal with the bank, the owner of this property will carry financing. The asking price is $1.9 million. owner carried financing. He'll carry the financing with the reasonable down payment for 5 to 10 years. So I would definitely, if you have a buyer, you definitely want to look at that, because that isn't offered often. And this property has almost no debt on it now. There's a lot of flexibility in terms of terms and pricing, et cetera, et cetera. So be sure to bring your client by this and take a look. Contractors, property developers, anybody that needs storage and wants rental income, boy, I'd sure take a look at this one. So give us a call, Mark or Patrick. Go to our website, grangerco.com. We have a site plan. We have all of the information on this property. How do we tour it?
Reach out to myself or to Mark, and more than happy to take you guys through.
Yeah, and it's easy to get through, right? I mean, it's available.
Definitely.
Western and 145th is the general location. Give us a call. We're excited to get you through the property.